In an unprecedented move, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the founder of the Russian Wagner Group, has recently launched a series of public criticisms against the Kremlin and Russia's military leadership. Prigozhin, a longtime associate of Russian President Vladimir Putin, is known for his close ties to the Russian government and has played a crucial role in supporting Russia's military efforts in the ongoing war in Ukraine. However, his recent actions seem to signal a growing rift between him and the Kremlin's top military brass, specifically targeting Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. In a recent interview with a pro-war military blogger, Prigozhin openly dismissed the Kremlin's claims of success in Ukraine, stating that Russia is on the brink of catastrophe. He called for an end to the deception of the population and accused the military leadership of either being deluded about the war's progress or not caring about the situation on the ground. Prigozhin's discontent mainly stems from a lack of ammunition, which he believes could cost Russia the war. In the interview, he read aloud a letter he had sent to Shoigu, brazenly threatening to withdraw his mercenaries from the key battle in Bakhmut, eastern Ukraine, if the defense ministry does not immediately provide the required ammunition. Prigozhin also indicated that he would inform Putin personally about the situation, seemingly attempting to exert pressure on the defense minister. Prigozhin's criticisms extend beyond the ammunition shortage. He voiced his disappointment in the Russian military's performance in Ukraine, questioning what the army has achieved since the war's outbreak in February 2022. He described the situation as a complete mess, citing a lack of discipline and control, as well as a significant disconnect between the realities on the front lines and the perceptions of military leaders in headquarters. Prigozhin warned that Ukraine's counter-offensive is imminent, but claimed that nobody in Russia's military leadership seems to care. The Wagner Group, a private military company with close ties to the Russian government, has played a prominent role in the conflict, particularly in the battle for Bakhmut, a strategically important city in eastern Ukraine. The city has been the site of intense fighting, with high casualty rates on both sides. Prigozhin claimed that his group is recovering thousands of bodies of dead fighters every day, and that he plans to hold those responsible for the deaths of Russian soldiers accountable. As the first part of our report highlights, Prigozhin's public criticisms and threats have the potential to significantly impact Russia's war effort in Ukraine. The situation not only exposes a rift between the Wagner Group and the Kremlin's military leadership, but it also raises questions about the effectiveness and cohesion of Russia's military strategy. The consequences of these internal conflicts may become more apparent as the war continues, especially if Prigozhin follows through on his threats to withdraw from Bakhmut and confront the military leaders responsible for the current state of affairs. Yevgeny Prigozhin's public threats to withdraw the Wagner Group from the critical battle in Bakhmut, if not provided with the necessary ammunition, could have far-reaching consequences for Russia's military campaign in Ukraine. The Wagner Group has been heavily involved in Russia's operations in the region, playing a significant role in capturing and defending strategic locations. Bakhmut, in particular, has seen some of the heaviest fighting in the conflict, with high casualty counts on both sides. The city is of strategic importance for both Russia and Ukraine, making the Wagner Group's presence essential in maintaining and advancing Russian interests in the area. A withdrawal of Wagner Group mercenaries from Bakhmut could leave Russian forces vulnerable to counterattacks from Ukrainian troops, as suggested by the Washington-based Institute for the Study of War think tank. Such a withdrawal would not only risk losing ground in Bakhmut, but could also undermine the overall Russian military campaign in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has hinted at a potential counter-offensive in the region, and the absence of the Wagner Group's support could create an opportunity for Ukrainian forces to regain lost territory. Furthermore, Prigozhin's open criticisms of Russia's top military brass and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine have the potential to impact public perception and morale, both within the military and among the Russian population. The negative portrayal of the military's performance, discipline and control raises questions about the effectiveness of Russia's war effort and could potentially weaken support for the conflict at home. This could, in turn, make it more challenging for the Russian government to maintain its current course of action in Ukraine. The potential fallout from Prigozhin's threats and criticisms also extends to the political sphere. His very public confrontations with Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and other military leaders have fueled speculation that Prigozhin might be positioning himself for a role in the government or attempting to deflect blame for any future embarrassing war losses. These internal power struggles within the Russian establishment could further complicate the country's ability to conduct a cohesive and effective military campaign in Ukraine. The possibility of the Wagner Group withdrawing from Bakhmut could weaken Russia's military position in the region, while Prigozhin's public condemnations of military leadership could erode morale and support for the war. Moreover, the political ramifications of these disputes may further complicate Russia's ability to execute a successful military campaign in the ongoing conflict. As tensions continue to rise between Yevgeny Prigozhin and the Russian military establishment, the future of Russia's war effort in Ukraine becomes increasingly uncertain. The consequences of Prigozhin's threats to withdraw the Wagner Group from Bakhmut and his open criticisms of military leadership could have a profound impact on the overall direction and success of Russia's campaign in the region. Firstly, the potential withdrawal of Wagner Group mercenaries from the strategically important city of Bakhmut could force the Russian military to reassess its tactics and objectives in eastern Ukraine. If the Wagner Group were to leave the battlefield, Russian forces might have to divert additional resources and personnel to compensate for the loss of these skilled fighters. This reallocation of resources could stretch the Russian military thin and affect its ability to maintain control over other contested areas in Ukraine. Also, the negative publicity generated by Prigozhin's open criticisms of the Russian military's performance in Ukraine could undermine the morale and confidence of Russian soldiers on the ground. The dissemination of such information might lead to growing disillusionment and doubt among the troops, further hindering their combat effectiveness. Moreover, the erosion of public support for the war within Russia could place additional pressure on the government to reassess its approach to the conflict. The ongoing disputes between Prigozhin and Russia's top military brass could exacerbate existing divisions within the Russian political and military establishments. This internal discord may create an environment of mistrust and confusion, ultimately hampering the country's ability to coordinate and execute a cohesive military strategy in Ukraine. Furthermore, any potential ambitions Prigozhin may have for a role in the government could generate additional political uncertainty, further complicating Russia's strategic decision-making process. In summary, there are potential challenges and uncertainties that lie ahead for Russia's war effort in Ukraine as a result of Prigozhin's threats and public criticisms. The possible withdrawal of the Wagner Group from Bakhmut, the impact on morale and public support, and the internal divisions within the Russian establishment all pose significant risks to the success of the country's military campaign in the region. To navigate these challenges, the Russian government and military will need to reassess their strategies and objectives, find ways to maintain morale and support, and address internal discord to ensure a cohesive and effective approach to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Thank you for watching this episode of Warzone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.